The Ark ship Resilience drifted silently through the void, carrying the last 10,000 humans in frozen sleep. For 300 years they had traveled far from Earth, escaping the destruction of their homeworld by the alien Kroth Dominion. Commander. Jiho Park stood alone on the observation deck. The stars outside looked strange and unfamiliar. He had been the first to wake, chosen to assess their situation before reviving the others. His dark uniform hung loosely on his frame, a reminder of how long he had slept. Commander, all systems are functioning properly, said Gaia, the ship's artificial intelligence. Her voice was calm and clear through the speakers. I have detected a planetary system ahead that matches our requirements. Jiho nodded. Thank you, Gaia. You've kept safe all this time. It was my purpose, the AI replied. The ship has suffered minimal damage during our journey. Jiho touched the cold glass of the viewport. Earth was gone, turned to ash by the Kroth weapons. At least that's what they believed. No one had stayed behind to confirm it. The escape had been desperate and final. Begin revival procedures. For the leadership team, Jiho ordered. Medical, scientific, and engineering heads first. 6 hours later, Dr. Hana Kim entered the observation deck. Her steps were unsteady after centuries in cryosleep. Her eyes, like Jiho's, carried the weight of memories too painful to discuss. 10,000 souls, she said quietly, coming to stand beside him. That's all that remains of our species. For now, Jiho replied. His voice was firm with determination. But we will rebuild. We will survive. The main screen activated, showing a gas giant with several moons. One of them, the third from the planet, showed unusual energy readings. Gaia, what can you tell us about those readings? Jiho asked. They appear artificial in nature, Commander. They do not match any known Kroth technology. This was concerning. If not Kroth, then who? The answer came sooner than expected. As the ship approached the moon, they received a transmission. Unknown vessel, we are the Vishari. We wish for peaceful contact. The face that appeared on screen was humanoid but clearly alien. The being had iridescent skin that shifted colors, slightly as they spoke. Their eyes were large and expressive, set in a face with delicate features. I am Nari, diplomatic envoy of the Vishari Collective, the alien said through the translator. Your ship's approach was detected by our deep space monitors. Jiho exchanged a glance with Hana before responding. I am Commander Jiho Park of the Earth vessel Resilience. We come seeking a new home. Earth? Nari's expression changed to one of surprise. The human homeworld. The Kroth claimed to have eliminated your species 3 centuries ago. They nearly succeeded, Jiho admitted. We are the survivors. By now, more of the ship's leadership had awakened. Engineer Tae-Woo Lee and Security Chief Do-Hyun Kang joined them on the bridge, listening intently to the exchange. The Kroth, Dominion controls much of this sector, Nari explained. They have been slowly conquering our worlds as well. We lack the military strength to resist them effectively. Then we have a common enemy, Do-Hyun noted. Nari nodded. Perhaps this meeting was fated. We have much to discuss, including how to hide your ship from Kroth detection systems. Their patrols come through this system regularly. Over the next few days, more humans were awakened from cryosleep. The Vishari sent representatives to the Resilience, bringing food and water as gestures of goodwill. In return, the humans shared their technology. Your people are remarkably adaptable, Nari commented to Jiho as they toured the ship. You create solutions we would never consider. Humans have always been good at surviving, Jiho replied. The Vishari guided the Resilience to a hidden location on the 3rd moon. There, concealed within a massive crater, the humans began to establish their first colony. As they worked, a Vishari scientist named Duri approached Hana with interesting news. The energy readings that brought your ship here, Duri said, they come from ruins deep beneath the surface. Ruins left by a species we call the precursors. We've studied them for generations but never activated the technology. Hana's interest was piqued. Can you show me these ruins? The underground complex was vast and clearly artificial, Strange symbols covered walls of an unknown metal that seemed to absorb light. When Hana touched one of the panels, something unexpected happened. The symbols began to glow with soft blue light. "Remarkable," Dury whispered. "The technology has never responded to us like this." Before they could investigate further, an alarm sounded throughout the colony. Jiho's voice came through their communication devices. "All personnel, return to secure locations immediately. A Kraoth scout ship has entered the system." The humans' time of hiding had just gotten much shorter. The humans worked quickly to build their new home on the hidden moon. They named it New Terra. Director Tae-Woo Lee led the construction efforts using plans that Gaia had developed during their long journey through space. The colony took shape inside a vast cave system, protected from detection by Vishari cloaking technology. "Your people work with amazing speed," Nari said to Tae-Woo as they walked through the growing settlement. Workers were setting up housing units, hydroponics farms, and a medical center. Tae-Woo nodded. "Humans have always been good at adapting. When pushed to our limits, we find ways to survive." The Vishari helped by sharing their knowledge of local resources. They showed the humans which rocks contained useful minerals and which native plants were safe to eat. In return, the humans offered innovations that the Vishari had never considered. "Your thinking is different from ours," Nari explained. "We perfect what exists. You imagine what could be." Meanwhile, deep below the surface, Dr. Hana Kim worked with the Vishari scientist Dury in a laboratory they had set up inside the precursor ruins. They had taken genetic samples from the human colonists and were comparing them to ancient data found in the ruins. Hana stared at the screen, her eyes wide with surprise. "These markers in our DNA, they're not natural, are they?" Dury shook his head. "No, they appear to be engineered. The same beings who built these ruins seem to have modified human genetics long ago. But why? What were they trying to create?" Before Dury could answer, the lab door slid open. Commander Ji-Ho entered with a serious expression. "The Kraoth scout ship is conducting a thorough scan of the system," he said. "Our cloaking technology is holding for now, but we need to prepare in case they detect us." Hana looked at the genetic data again. "Ji-Ho, there's something you need to see. Our DNA contains modifications that seem connected to the technology in these ruins." Ji-Ho frowned. "What does that mean for us?" "I'm not sure yet," Hana admitted. "But when I touched the wall panels, they responded to me. They never activated for the Vishari despite centuries of study." The three of them walked deeper into the ruins, entering a chamber they hadn't explored before. The walls were covered with strange symbols that seemed to shift slightly when viewed from different angles. Ji-Ho approached one of the panels cautiously. When his fingers made contact, blue light flowed from the point of touch, spreading through circuit-like patterns on the walls. The entire chamber hummed with energy. "Extraordinary," Dury whispered. "It's as if the technology recognizes you." Back in the colony, Security Chief Do-Hyun Kang gathered a team of volunteers. They had trained for weeks, learning to use the hybrid weapons that combined human design with Vishari energy technology. "The Kraoth ship has changed course," Do-Hyun informed his team. "It's moving closer to our position. We need to intercept it before it can report back to its fleet." Engineer Sunmi Choi presented Do-Hyun with a small device. "This should help. You board their vessel without detection. It creates a temporary disruption in their sensor systems." The team boarded a small shuttle, equipped with Vishari cloaking technology. They launched from a hidden exit and approached the much larger Kraoth vessel. As they drew near, they could see its distinctive design, sharp angles and dark metal that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "Remember," Do-Hyun told his team, "we need prisoners. We need information about Earth and any other human survivors." Using Sunmi's device, they created a gap in the Kraoth ship's defenses and docked at an emergency airlock. The boarding action that followed revealed something unexpected. The Kraoth were physically imposing with their armored exoskeletons, but they reacted slowly and predictably. They've grown complacent, Do-Hyun realized, as his team secured the A bridge. They don't expect resistance anymore. The Kraoth commander was taken alive. The translator mapped his name as Mech, His insect-like features were rigid with anger as he was brought back to the colony for questioning. In a secure room, Ji-ho confronted the prisoner. "Tell us about Earth. Tell us about the humans you captured." Mech's mandibles clicked in what might have been laughter. "Earth is dead. As for the humans we took, they serve as all lesser species should. So some of our people survived," Ji-ho pressed. "Where are they?" "Scattered throughout the Dominion, mining worlds, research facilities. The strong survive by using the weak. This is the way." Ji-ho turned to Hana, who had been observing the interrogation. "We need to know more about this connection between humans and the precursor technology. It might be our only advantage." Hana nodded. "I'll continue the research. With Duri. There's something else in those ruins, something powerful. I can feel it." As they left the room, alarms sounded throughout the colony. The Kryoth ship had managed to send a partial transmission before being captured. A response fleet would be coming soon. The countdown to discovery had begun. In the deepest chamber of the precursor complex, engineer Sun-Mi Choi stood surrounded by technology beyond human understanding. The walls glowed with soft blue light that pulsed like a heartbeat. She reached out hesitantly, placing her palm against a curved panel. The effect was immediate. Light flowed from the panel up her arm, not burning but tingling like gentle electricity. The symbols on the walls began to shift and change, forming new patterns. "It's responding to you," said Duri, watching in amazement, "more strongly than with the others." Over the past week, Hana and Duri had brought 20 human volunteers to test their connection with the precursor technology. Each showed some level of compatibility, but Sun-Mi's response was by far the strongest. "What does it feel like?" Hana asked, recording data on her tablet. Sun-Mi closed her eyes. "It's like hearing music without sound or seeing colors without light. The technology is communicating with me, but not with words." "Can you understand it?" "Pieces, fragments. It's showing me equations, concepts." Sun-Mi opened her eyes. "I think I know what this place is. It's a neural amplifier designed to enhance cognitive abilities." Hana looked at her with concern. "Is it safe?" "I believe so. It feels right. Like it was made for us." Ji-ho authorized further testing. More humans were brought to the complex, and each developed different abilities. Some showed enhanced intelligence, solving complex problems with ease. Others demonstrated limited telekinesis, moving small objects with their minds. A few developed telepathic connections, able to share thoughts with each other. Sun-Mi's abilities grew the strongest. She could now activate any system in the complex with just a thought. Under her guidance, they discovered a chamber containing advanced technology, schematics. "These designs," she explained to Ji-ho and the others, "they're beyond anything we've ever created, but I understand them now. We can build these things." Meanwhile, the captured Kryoth ship had been thoroughly examined. Do-hyun and his team learned its systems and practiced flying it. They would need this knowledge for their most dangerous mission yet, intercepting the Kryoth response fleet before it could reach New Terra. "We've confirmed 3 warships approaching," Do-hyun reported during the colony's emergency council meeting. "They'll arrive in 6 days." Ji-ho nodded grimly. "Not enough time to evacuate everyone." "We don't need to evacuate," Sun-Mi said confidently. "I've found something in the precursor files, a defense system built into the moon itself. With enough people connected to the neural network, we can activate it." The plan was risky. 50 humans with the strongest neural compatibility would connect to the precursor system, channeling their combined mental energy to power the ancient defenses. As preparations continued, Do-hyun led a small team in the captured scout ship to meet the Kryoth fleet. Their mission was to delay the enemy and gather intelligence. The Kryoth ships were massive, bristling with weapons. Do-hyun's team approached cautiously, transmitting identification codes taken from their captured vessel. "Maintain course and speed," Do-hyun told his pilot. "Any deviation will make them suspicious." They were allowed to dock with the lead warship. Disguised in Kryoth armor taken from their prisoners, Do-hyun and 3 others boarded the enemy vessel. Remember, our goal is to access their command systems and plant the virus, Do-hyun reminded his team. No unnecessary risks. The virus, designed by Sunmi based on precursor coding principles, would temporarily disable the Kraoth navigation systems, buying the colony precious extra days. Moving through the warship, they witnessed firsthand the cruel hierarchy of Kraoth society. Lower caste members were treated brutally by their superiors. And working alongside them, Do-hyun saw humans, thin, pale, with haunted eyes, performing menial tasks under close guard. Earth spawn. A Kraoth officer explained when he noticed Do-hyun's interest. This batch is from the mining colony on Barris IV. Not very strong, but they breed quickly. Do-hyun struggled to maintain his disguise, fighting the urge to free. These enslaved humans immediately. But their mission had to come first. They reached a terminal and planted the virus. As they returned to their ship, alarms began to sound. They had been discovered. Do-hyun's team ran the final distance to their vessel, exchanging fire with Kraoth soldiers. "Launch now," Do-hyun ordered, as they sealed the airlock. Their ship disengaged from the warship and accelerated away. The virus worked perfectly. The Kraoth fleet systems went offline, their ships drifting aimlessly. But one managed to fire a parting shot, damaging Do-hyun's engine. They limped back toward New Terra, pursued by a single Kraoth vessel that had restored partial power. The colony, Sunmi, led the 50 volunteers in the precursor chamber. They sat in a circle, each connected to the neural network. As Sunmi guided them, their minds joined together, becoming something greater than the sum of their parts. The ancient technology responded, powering up systems dormant for millennia. The entire moon hummed with energy as defensive shields activated, just in time. As Do-hyun's damaged ship approached, followed by the Kraoth warship, a beam of pure energy shot from the moon's surface. It struck the pursuing vessel with perfect accuracy, cutting it in half. The age of hiding was over. Humanity had awakened. 5 years passed since the humans activated the precursor defenses. New Terra had changed completely. What began as a hidden colony was now a fortress and production center. Under engineer Sunmi's guidance, humans combined their innovative thinking with Vishari technology and precursor power sources. The result was a small but powerful fleet. Each ship contained what Sunmi called cognitive enhancement modules, devices that connected pilots and gunners to their vessels, allowing them to react with incredible speed and coordinate perfectly during battle. Admiral Ji-ho, his hair now streaked with gray, stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Phoenix. Around him, crew members worked at stations that responded to both touch and thought. "Status report," Ji-ho ordered. "All systems ready, Admiral," reported his second-in-command. "The fleet is prepared for jump." Ji-ho nodded. "Begin the operation." Their target was Kestris, a mining world where thousands of humans worked as slaves for the Kraoth. Intelligence gathered from captured ships had revealed its location and defenses. The human fleet appeared, suddenly near Kestris, their engines using precursor technology that left no warning of their approach. Captain Do-hyun led the first assault team, his ship avoiding enemy fire with impossible precision. "Remember the plan," Do-hyun told his soldiers. "Hit fast, confuse them, then move to the next target. Never stay in one place long enough for them to organize." The Kraoth defenders were caught unprepared. Their society valued strength and direct confrontation. They were not equipped to handle the humans' quick, unpredictable attacks. While the space battle raged, Do-hyun's team landed near the largest mining camp. They moved quickly through Kraoth defenses, using their neural-linked weapons to coordinate perfectly. Within hours, they reached the slave quarters. What they found shocked even the hardened soldiers. Thousands of humans lived in terrible conditions, working until they collapsed. Many had never seen the sky, born and raised in the mines. "We're here to free you," Do-hyun announced to the stunned prisoners. "We are humans like you from Earth." Most didn't believe them at first. Earth was just a story to them, a legend told by the oldest slaves. But as transport ships arrived to evacuate them, the truth sank in. One woman stepped forward from the crowd. She was thin but strong, with scars on her arms and a fierce look in her eyes. "My name is Sora," she said. "I've led 3 escape attempts from this place. Each time the Kraoth caught us and killed half our group as punishment." Do-hyun was impressed by her courage. "We need people like you. Will you join us?" Sora looked at the other freed slaves. "We've been fighting our whole lives just to survive. Now you're offering us a chance to fight back. What do you think?" Their answer was a cheer that echoed through the camp. The liberation of Kestris was just the beginning. Over the next months, the human fleet struck at Kraoth outposts throughout the sector. Each victory brought more freed slaves to their cause and spread confusion among the enemy. Sora quickly proved her worth, rising to become Do-hyun's right hand. She led many successful raids, showing a natural talent for combat and strategy. But Do-hyun noticed she fought with a coldness that worried him. After their 3rd major victory, he found her cleaning her weapons alone. "The operation was a success," he said. "Minimal casualties on our side." "We should have killed more of them," Sora replied without looking up. "The guards who ran away will just fight us somewhere else." "We're not like them, Sora. We don't kill when we don't have to." She finally met his eyes. "Your people remember Earth. You grew up free. We were born in cages, watching our parents die in the mines. Don't tell me how to feel about the Kraoth." Do-hyun had no answer for that. As their campaign expanded, they made contact with other species oppressed by the Kraoth. Many joined their alliance, bringing their own ships and technology. The Kraoth Empire began to fracture under the pressure. Different factions blamed each other for failing to stop the human-led resistance. Civil war broke out in some sectors as ambitious commanders turned against their superiors. In a daring operation, Sunmi led a special team to infiltrate a secret Kraoth research facility. Their target was the plans for a superweapon, technology, capable of destroying entire planets. "We can't let them complete this," Sunmi told her team as they moved through the dimly lit corridors. "If they deploy even one, they could force our surrender by threatening to destroy New Terra." The mission succeeded, but with a twist. Not only did they steal the plans, but Sunmi also realized the weapon used principles similar to the precursor, technology. With modifications, they could build their own version. When she presented this information to the War Council, a heated debate erupted. "If we build this weapon, we become like them," Jiho argued. "If we don't, we risk everything," countered Sora. "The Kraoth only understand power." Sunmi listened to both sides before speaking. "What if there's a third option? What if we modify the design to disable rather than destroy? A weapon that could knock out Kraoth technology without killing their people?" The council voted to proceed with Sunmi's proposal. As work began on the new weapon, intelligence reports brought troubling news. The Kraoth leadership had finally recognized the true threat. They were gathering their full military might for a decisive strike against the resistance. The Shadow War was about to become a full-scale conflict, and the next battleground would be the Kraoth homeworld itself. The final battle approached. The combined fleet of humans and their allies gathered at the edge of Kraoth space. Over 100 ships of various sizes and designs, united by a common cause: freedom from the dominion that had terrorized the galaxy for centuries. Admiral Jiho stood on the bridge of the Phoenix looking at the tactical display. His hair was now more gray than black, his face lined with the weight of command. Beside him stood Do-hyun and Sora, who had become his most trusted captains. "The weapon is ready," Sunmi reported from the engineering deck. "It worked perfectly, in tests." Jiho nodded. "And you're certain it will only disable their systems, not destroy their planet?" "Yes, Admiral. It targets their technology, not organic life." The plan was bold but carefully designed. Instead of trying to defeat the entire Kraoth military, they would strike directly at the homeworld. The weapon would disable the planet's defenses, allowing for a precise attack on military installations while leaving civilian areas untouched. "All ships prepare for jump," Jiho ordered. "May fortune favor the brave." The fleet vanished into jump space using the advanced engines developed from precursor technology. They reappeared moments later in orbit around the Kraoth homeworld. a large planet with twin moons and massive orbital defense platforms. Immediately, alarms blared as enemy ships moved to intercept them. They were expecting us, Do-hyun noted grimly. But not so soon, Ji-ho replied. Deploy the weapon before they can organize their full defense. The Phoenix turned, positioning itself for the perfect shot. On the engineering deck, Sunmi activated the device they had worked so hard to create. Energy built up in waves, visible as ripples of blue light along the ship's hull. Firing in 3, 2, 1. A beam of pure energy shot from the Phoenix toward the planet below. It wasn't explosive or destructive. Instead, it spread like a wave across the surface, touching every piece of Kraoth technology. Throughout the Kraoth fleet, ships suddenly lost power. On the planet, weapons fell silent. Defense systems shut down, communication networks went dead. It worked, Sunmi whispered, looking at her readings. Complete technological shutdown. Ji-ho didn't waste the opportunity. All ships proceed with your assigned targets, remember, military only. No civilian casualties. The fleet descended, each ship attacking specific military bases identified by intelligence. There was some resistance. The Kraoth fought even without their advanced weapons, but the outcome was never in doubt. 3 hours later, Ji-ho, Do-hyun, and Sora stood in the grand hall of the Kraoth High Command. The room was designed to intimidate, with high ceilings and dark stone walls covered in trophies from conquered worlds. The Kraoth leader, larger than others of his kind, sat on a raised platform. His exoskeleton was marked with gold to show his status. You could destroy us all, he said, his voice translated by devices the humans wore. Why don't you? Ji-ho stepped forward. Because we remember what it means to face extinction. We will not become like you. What do you want then? Peace. The end of the Dominion. A new beginning for all species as equals. The Kraoth leaders. Mandibles clicked in what might have been laughter. Equals. The strong always rule the weak. This is the natural order. Sora moved forward, her hand on her weapon. Your natural order is finished. Accept the terms or face judgment for your crimes. After long negotiations, the terms were set. The Kraoth would release all slave populations and withdraw from conquered worlds. They could maintain their own homeworld system, but would be prohibited from rebuilding their military for 50 years. A new alliance was formed, the Galactic Concord, with representatives from every free species. Humans, with their unique connection to precursor technology, served as mediators and protectors of the peace. 1 year later, a small expedition returned to Earth. Ji-ho insisted on leading it himself, despite his age. The Phoenix entered the solar system cautiously, sensors scanning for any Kraoth presence. What they found surprised everyone. Earth, though still bearing the scars of the attack 3 centuries earlier, had begun to heal itself. The atmosphere had cleared somewhat. Oceans had reclaimed their blue color, and most surprisingly, green forests covered areas that had been reduced to ash. Life finds a way, Dr. Hana said softly as they orbited their ancestral home. She was elderly now, her once black hair completely white, but her eyes were bright with tears as she looked upon Earth for the first time in centuries. They landed in what had once been Korea. The ruins of old cities were visible in the distance, now covered with vegetation. The air was clean and fresh. Ji-ho stepped out of the ship and knelt to touch the soil. We've come home, he whispered. They established a small settlement there, a monument to humanity's journey. They named it New Seoul. It would not be their main home. New Terra and the many worlds of the conquered were where most humans would remain, but it was an important symbol. In the precursor complex, now fully activated, Sunmi made her final discovery. The beings who had modified humanity eons ago had left a message, finally decoded after years of study. They were us, she told the others in amazement. The precursors were humans from a future so distant it might as well have been another universe. They created a time loop, ensuring that humanity would always rise again no matter what disasters befell them. As the sun set on New Seoul, Jiho stood on a hill overlooking the settlement. Around him, young children born after the war played, without fear. Above, the stars held thousands of worlds now living in peace. Humanity had done more than survive. They had transformed the galaxy itself.